Yes, guys. Here we are back in Arma 3. Um, so, this is something I've always wanted to do for a few months now, is to try and play Arma very realistic. Okay, so try and actually do all the things that we'll do in real life. Try to do that in Arma 3. However, I'm not really looking at the weapon mechanics because that is just not simulated, and I don't think any millisim stuff games can really truly simulate weapon handling. Okay, so I'm not even going to look at that. But so what we're going to do, we're going to look. I'm going to look at more like tactical gameplay type of stuff. How would actually deploy troops on the ground, use equipments and those sort of stuff, right? So that's really what I'm going to try and replicate in Armor. Okay, so just in case you haven't watched any of my previous videos, okay, I am, or I was, so I'm a veteran at the minute. So I've done over 10 years in the British Force as a para, right, in various roles. So I've been a rifleman, comms, machine gunner, sniper. I was also a commander as well on the battlefield, right? Um, I do, however, like work alongside some JTACs, the mortars. I was a pilot, air crew, that sort of stuff, doing certain type of ops. So I do understand how that area worked as well. I just wasn't deployed in those roles, okay, but I've worked alongside guys in those roles. So throughout the gameplay, right, I'll try and re-roll into these different roles based on the mission task, right? Hopefully that will give you guys an idea as to like what it's like in a real world to like work or operate in those different roles, right? So what I'm, what I'm working with today is, so I'll show you what I'm using. It's not a mod, okay? It's a dynamic universal war system. So basically, what it is just it generates um, a dynamic campaign. Do you know what I mean? So really, that's what it does. It's really good. I haven't seen anything that competes with this on in Armor, right? I'm very new to Armor as well, guys. So maybe um, others might have some other type of dynamic campaign um, software that they can actually use in Armor. This is the only one I've actually come across that I think is really good. Okay, so just a quick overview of this mission generator. Right, it controls all the AI enemy. Right, so they'll dynamically do stuff. They'll dynamically attack. If I was to die, for example, and respawn, right, it will not be the same um, scenario, right? It's like the scenario will keep changing as the gameplay changing, as whatever's going on, it just keep changing, right? And that's what I like about it. So, yes, I might be using the same map, and yes, I might be um, attacking the same like area, but it's like it's never the same because they might just shift the enemy zone a bit to the right, and then the whole dynamic change because coming in from this angle you no longer can see, so you have to then come in from another angle. And to be honest, guys, in the real world, our training locations or training areas, like we for 10 years I've been in the forces, we pretty much use the same training area, and I guarantee you it's the scenarios that makes the area different. Okay, so it's the same area, but by putting a different scenario in, right, and keep changing the scenarios, that's what make the battlefield different and difficult. So it's not necessarily about having 10 million maps, right? It's not really about that. It's about the scenarios. So, like I said, this is by far the first or the best one I've actually come across. So yeah, so what I'll do, right, I'll run through a quick setup. Okay, so what I actually got, in fact, okay, I've got no mods, right, so I'm not rocking with any mods. This is, like I said, this is not classed as a mod, it's more like a mission generator. So let's go into the game option, right, so that's what I've got it set up. Difficulty, I've got it set like that, so you guys can see, right. I want to make it super, super, super tactical by turning off the friendly location on the map. Problem is, because I'm using AI soldiers, it makes things a little bit difficult trying to work out where the guys are. Yes, you can ask for grid reference and stuff like that, but sometimes if these guys are stuck or they're not moving or whatever, there's a lot that I need to remember. So okay, you know what? Let's turn it off. Okay, let's turn it off. So I've got no idea where the enemy location is. Not enemy, sorry, friendly forces. Right, friendly forces will not show up on the map. So I'll do that at the start. And if it's getting a little bit complicated to try and control all the AI, because that's what it really comes down to, is controlling the AI, the friendly AI guys. So we'll see. Right, it's just I've got to do and remember a lot of grid references, because if I ask them for like a location lock stack, they will give grid reference, so I've got to keep remembering the previous grid references match with the current grid reference, and that will work out if they've actually moved or not. So we'll see. Okay, so I'll rock with that. So let's go. Right. Okay, so the map I'm using, guys, is that map there. Right, I've got another map. Sometimes AI soldiers are very silly on that map, so I tend to try and stay away from it as much as possible. Like guys will get stuck in buildings and just all crazy stuff. So this is probably the best map I've actually come across. Yeah, that's the best map I've come across. I haven't messed around with these, so I really cannot tell you what's the best one, right? And again, I've messed around with these either, so I'm just gonna rock with whatever is set as default, right? So I'm gonna go random HQ just to throw a bit of span in the works here. So go random HQ. Okay, so that will obviously put the HQ at any location on the map. Right, so what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to press escape, so it creates a 360 zone, so I'm not positioning these zones whatsoever. Right, so I'm just going to hit 360 and the zones will just be populated wherever they see fit. Right, so let's hit escape. Right, boom. Okay, so that's done. I could make the weather a little bit dynamic, with some tropical stuff and cold weather stuff, because what you see when it's depend on the temperature, right, that can have a massive effect on the outcome of, not necessarily outcome, but how you actually like approach a particular op. For example, in wooded areas, right, if the weather condition is like, let's say, rain, you're gonna expect low level fogs, for example. Low level fog, which means you then struggle to actually see, if you're a sniper, to have that standoff obs, right, that vision will be very limited during the daytime. Nighttime you could potentially get away with it if there's enough ambient light to use night vision goggles and stuff like that. Right, so I'm not going to work with that. I'm going to go with this one. Right, hey, nope. Right, I'm not 100% sure what this is, to be honest. I'm still trying to work out what they do. Define level Zeus. I don't really know what. Yeah, I don't know what that is. So I'll just go full. I'm not sure if that makes it harder or easier or what. I'm not sure exactly what it throws. What? Yeah, I'm not sure. Right, I'll leave that as it is. Simple zone, easier placement of three building or heavy. Um, let's go. Where should we go? Buildings or go trees? I can't. You know what? I cannot remember what this is. Create zones with small cabinet and flag poles. Oh right. Okay. No, I got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. For cabinet. Okay, so that makes it a little bit harder. Okay, I'll work with that. Um, I'm gonna. I will go hardcore. Hardcore basically. So yeah, so with hardcore guys, all it is you've got to. That's more realistic, right? So you got to do like reconnaissance patrols. You got to gather int from the locals. That means you got to intelligence gathering, which is what it's like in real world, right? So I'll go hardcore. Um, Also, what this does is you haven't got predefined location of the enemy zones. Okay, so you have to then do all the reconnaissance, gather intel to actually unlock the enemy zones, right? So once you've actually gathered intel, some intels might be duff. Okay, you might be getting duff info, right? Which basically means false stuff. So you might go to an informant, check him out, ask for information, blah blah blah. It turns out that the information is just absolutely useless. Um, so you might as well just give up on that one, right? But that's just how it is in the real world. I mean, not all the time we gather, not all the time you go to an informant, they're going to give you what you need. I mean, they might just talk absolute gibberish, and in the end, it just means nothing. Okay, so time of day doesn't matter. Okay, I'll just work with that. In fact, let's go noon. I love fob fast travel. No, I'm not sure what that is. Enable stamina. Right, I'll turn this off because there's no one can like tell me how far I can run before I'm actually like breathing heavy and that sort of stuff, right? So I'm gonna go with enable stamina no on that one. Time multiplier, I'm not really using this, so whatever that is. Right, let's go summertime since I'm going with that weather condition. No, go full. Right, next page. Okay, so this is a tricky one now. So I'm gonna go 1,000 maximum, and let's make it interesting. Let's go 500. Enemy zones, I'm gonna rock at 4. Maximum distance from HQ. Should we go for? Okay, let's work at 6K. I'm not sure how that's gonna be. Trying to fit these number 4 enemy zones with these radius within that 6K distance. I'm not sure how it's gonna work, but we'll see. Right, we might find that some of the zones are actually like very close to each other. I don't really know, but who cares? Let's go. Right, I'm going with the high number. Right, the max, because you'll see AI soldiers will do something stupid. They might be stuck. They might be doing all sorts of nonsense, and I have to replace them. Right, which will then cost me points to do so. So I'll just work at the max. More urban placements. I'm gonna go. Let's go. Okay. Right, let's go in the fields. Make it a little bit harder. Let's go 1. Armor. Let's go 80 on that one. And let's go 80 on that one. Enemy base friendly AI skills. Okay, let's go elite. Enemy AI skills We go elite, which is the highest one, I think. Yep, highest one. Right. We're gonna rock with no air, because trust me, it's good if you're playing with human players, right, to have the air in. But with the AI soldiers, these guys get blown up all the time. So we're gonna work with no air, but we'll add some tanks in, make it interesting. And yeah, guys, so that's it. I'm gonna hit random, and that's the mission now being created. Right. So if you look down this side now, it says we found zone 1, 3, and 4. Okay, that's it. All done. Okay, so that is the setup completely there. So yeah, guys. So what I'll do is, again, like I said, the idea is to simulate realistic stuff. So I'm not going to do any video editing, right? So I'll try to do the videos in different chapters. You know what I mean? So this would be like the setup. So you just seen the setup there. The next thing I'll do, I'll go on to how we actually set up base location, right? Base defense and that sort of stuff. At the minute, HQ is okay, being defended by these guys, but I guarantee before I even move out, most of these guys have probably been blown up. Okay, so I've played Arma loads of times, and this location here now, just by looking with just the naked eye without actually checking the map, I cannot remember actually using this ground. Okay, so straight away, this to me is different, right? Straight away. Yes, if I use the map now, I can say for a fact that, okay, I have been past this area before, not necessarily used this area for anything before. Do you know what I mean? So there you go, guys, just to give you an idea as to what I mean by the dynamic generated campaigns, right? So, okay, I'll end the video on that one, right? And the next video that you guys are going to see is basically me setting up base, which includes my guys that we're going on the ground with, right? So just full squad. Okay, so that's what you guys will see in the next video. Okay, so that is it, guys. I am officially out of here, man. Coolio.